My blueberry cookies from White Cake Mix recipe is going to be great. These quick and simple cookies are going to not only be delicious, but also beautiful. They'll be perfect for the 4th of July or anytime. Just like all of my other cake mix cookie recipes with freeze-dried fruit, I'm starting off with one 15.25 ounce box of white cake mix and one small, I believe it's 3 ounce box of gelatin. I am using berry blue. I think it's gonna help give me a really nice color. I know that may be a kind of hard to find flavor, so just something that you think is going to be blue is what you should go for. Here I have half a cup of oil. I'm using canola because that's what I have on hand. 2 large eggs, some freeze-dried blueberries. I'm not sure if you've ever seen freeze-dried blueberries before, but just like with the raspberries and strawberries that I have had in previous videos, freeze-dried fruit looks like this. The moisture is removed and thus it can be pounded into dust. So here I took about just under 4 tablespoons, so maybe 3.5 tablespoons, 16 grams, just over half an ounce of the freeze-dried blueberries, and I use a rolling pin to take my anger out on them, get them into a powder. Here I have 1 teaspoon of lemon extract. I think the lemon is really going to help to bring out the berry flavor. I forgot the food coloring. I'm going to see if I need it. I think I probably will, but we'll see how it goes. Like I said, this recipe is super easy. I'm just going to start off by literally just pouring everything into my bowl and then mixing. I just finished mixing the batter for the blueberry cookies. I did add 5 drops of this blue food coloring. As you can see, it's the normal food coloring that you can get at the grocery store. I honestly think the color might have been a little bit better before. Now it looks kind of grayer for some reason, but honestly, I still think it's going to be fine. I think I probably did make the right call by adding some food coloring because sometimes the batter is not the same color as the finished cookie. So we'll see how they turn out. I am going to chill this for just 10 minutes. I would normally recommend half an hour, but I'm running low on time. And then I'm going to bake these. My oven is preheating to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Now it's time to bake these blueberry cookies. Like I said, I chilled the dough for 10 minutes, even though I would normally recommend 30. I am using a 1 tablespoon measuring spoon, and I am going to scoop out probably 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of batter. Here I took canola oil and I sprayed this pizza pan that I'm going to use as a cookie sheet. My oven is already preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I am going to bake these at 350 for about 10 minutes. If you want to roll them into balls, you can, but I honestly don't think that's necessary. I'm just going to put them on the baking sheet in small mounds like this. And now I'm ready to bake my cookies. I left between 1 inch to about 1.5 inches between the cookies so that they have room to spread. If you chill the dough for longer, my assumption is that they won't spread quite as much. So that's something to keep in mind. Honestly, I'm not concerned if some of the cookies end up touching each other. This recipe is really simple and really delicious, and I want it to be more about that than getting perfectly uniform cookies. If your cookies end up touching, all you have to do is take a small, sharp knife and run it in a little groove between them, just after they come out of the oven. My blueberry cookies from Cake Mix just came out of the oven. They were in at 350 for 10 minutes. Now I'm going to leave them on the baking sheet for another 5 minutes so that they can finish cooking. Honestly, these blueberry cookies from Cake Mix were absolutely delicious. I've actually done quite a few of Cake Mix cookie recipes over the last year here on my channel. Strawberry, raspberry, lemon, lime, and orange. And I have to say that these blueberry ones were one of my favorites. They definitely tasted like blueberries, but there were also hints of other berries in there as well. The berry blue gelatin that I used was definitely a mix of berries, but even so, I felt like the blueberry flavor came through very nicely, especially with the bits of freeze-dried blueberries. Sometimes blueberry skins can be a bit tough, so I was kind of concerned that they would be like little sprinkles or little pebbles in these cookies. Although they might have added a slight bit of texture, they weren't hard at all. So these cookies were nice and soft. Also, even though lemon in the background is nice in these cookies, I don't think that the lemon extract is absolutely necessary, so if you don't have it, don't worry about it. In terms of flavor, these blueberry cookies from Cake Mix were pretty much perfect. Sweet, but not too sweet, and they definitely had a berry, blueberry flavor. The biggest thing that could possibly be improved upon would be the color. Blue is actually a very hard color to get. The sky is blue and large bodies of water are blue, but think of how many flowers are a real true blue. Not many. The same goes with food. Not many foods are really blue. In fact, blueberries are kind of purple. Although I did like the color of these cookies, and I feel like they were bluer in person than they appear to be on camera, they seem to be a bit on the gray side. Ideally, I wanted something a brilliant blue. I may have to make this recipe again in the future and experiment with the food coloring, but honestly, this was something that I invented and this was my first time making it. So in terms of color and taste, I think this was a big success. These blueberry cookies would be perfect for the 4th of July, especially if served along with some regular white sugar cookies and either my strawberry or raspberry Cake Mix cookies that I've already made for my channel. So be sure to give this recipe a try. I know you'll love it. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.